I'm going in.
Welcome everybody to another episode of A Shot of Brandi. I'm your host Brandi, and check out the shirt this week, Chief Mimosa Maker. I have the guest that you've been asking for week after week. Brandi, can you get? Brandi, can you get? Brandi, can you get? Dude, of course I can. We just have to space this stuff out. Friends with everybody. Without further ado, you're all gonna flip out. I know. We'll give you a little space, a little buffer time to flip out so that then you can get into the meal. The one and only, Chris Jericho.
Woo!
Yeah. Chris, I'm so happy you're here.
I'm excited. You've been asking me to do this for a while.
I know. You're elusive.
Well, I am. I'm like the Loch Ness Monster. I come, I appear, I disappear. But I have to say, the cheap mimosa maker, it gives me a little bit of nightmares. Don't forget, have you ever swam in a pool of mimosa?
Oh my God. I didn't even think about it.
Didn't even think about it. It's just ripping me on the square.
I didn't think about
Oh my
it.
goodness. I didn't know this shirt would bother you.
No.
So thanks a lot. I guess Orange Cassidy wasn't available, so you called me up. Now I know what it is. The fix is in. It's fine. I'm excited to be here.
This was Chris's idea. Spaghetti and meatballs.
Oh, yeah.
Classic spaghetti and meatballs, which honestly, I make like spaghetti bolognese, but I never make spaghetti and meatballs. So this is gonna be new.
Spaghetti and meatballs is like AC/DC. Everybody likes it.
I gotta make you a drink. And I
That's
know
why I'm here. You said there was free alcohol.
Of course.
I don't really give a about the spaghetti. I saw a great graphic today that said 2020 me can outdrink college me.
Oh, yeah.
And this has been an all-star drinking year for sure.
Oh my God. I hear you're a vodka guy.
Yes.
Between the Goose or the Belvedere, where will you go?
I'm a goose guy.
I'm gonna go with the Goose.
I'm a goose
we'll
guy.
Go Goose.
I have that down to a science where I can do it with one hand. Want to see me do it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll
please
do it for you right now.
Please do it.
It's a
we
party
like party
trick.
tricks here.
Yeah. See, you take
Show
like
us
this.
the
You gotta have a
magic.
real strong thumb. Boom.
Tell me when, and then we'll top you off with soda.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Originally it was vodka and water until I got used to it, and then it was just vodka on ice. So just straight vodka. My wife finally put the kibosh on it, said you can't drink straight vodka anymore. So I went with the vodka and club soda. And now they also have flavored. No thanks. No pollutants. They have flavored club soda, which is good as well. So sometimes I have a little cherry in there too.
Ooh.
So
I do the Crystal Light.
What do you guys
to
do? You have
throw a little
vodka
bit of
too?
flavor. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Throw a little flavor in that sucker.
there you go. Cheers.
Cheers.
There you go.
We're gonna start making some meatballs to get this party started here. So when I normally make spaghetti, like spaghetti and meat sauce or bolognese or whatever the hell you wanna call it, I use Italian sausage, like ground Italian
Okay.
sausage. But in the case of the meatballs, I wasn't sure how that was gonna work out. So I was like, okay, we're gonna do a combo.
It's the sauce and it's the meatball to decide how good the spaghetti really is. But I have a little bit of a curveball that I'm gonna throw at you.
Uh-oh, okay.
I
know
don't
if I'm
like
ready.
chunky onions. I don't like onions at all.
We can go onionless.
So we're doing onionless since I'm the guest.
Yeah, we can
I'm
go
putting
onionless.
the ban on onions.
We can go onionless. I think it'll be absolutely fine. So I was actually gonna put the onions in the sauce, but no.
If we do onions and garlic, we're gonna destroy our cameraman over here with our breath. I'm always the last to know everything. We did a shoot today, an ID shoot.
Oh, you did yours today.
I didn't have any idea. I mean, I kind of knew, but I didn't know where it was.
Yeah.
I didn't know what time I was at.
Let's blame the right person here, okay?
Who do we blame?
Chris Harrington.
who
We're
we
just gonna
burying?
throw Chris right under the bus.
So that's when I throw
Right.
Harrington under the bus.
Yes, blame Harrington. Don't ever blame me.
Blame Harrington!
I get in there with everything. So I'm one of those just mix it all up with your hands type people. Okay, so what I did here is I threw a little salt, pepper, oregano, and an egg in. So talk to me about Fozzy. So I have always been very intrigued to know that you're not only like the goat of wrestling, but you're like one of the goats of rock music, which is crazy. It's actually not fair.
First of all, thank you. Goat of wrestling is debatable. Goat of rock and roll, definitely not true, but we have a lot of fun with it and we're doing really well with it. But the thing is, here's the reason why. So when I was a kid, I decided very early on that I wanted to be a wrestler and I wanted to be in a rock band.
Okay.
And I just always thought like those are two really cool things that I would like to do. Now, back in those days when you told anybody that you wanted to be a wrestler or you know, in a band, they'd kind of say, oh, that's ridiculous, you're never going to do it. And early on I realized, why do you care about what I'm going to do? Like this is my... That's when I just decided, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to literally go do both of these things. And here we are, you know, 30 years later, and yes, we're doing it. So I think it just, not to get too philosophical, but when you have a goal and a dream, do it, go for it. I actually wrote a book a couple years ago called No is a 4-letter word. And what I meant by that is no becomes almost like a cuss word. It's a dirty word, it's an evil word, and people just accept it. Now, obviously, no, if you ask somebody on a date, that's different. I'm talking about no in business when they say, no, you can't make it here, or no, you can't get to the next level, or no, you can't make great spaghetti and meatballs. That's when you have to internalize and say, yes, I'm going to do this because I think I can make it happen, and most of the times you will.
Well,
there you
Chris
go.
just said it, and now it's like from...
It's out there.
Yes, you got to do
Manifest
it. You got to do it. You have no excuses now.
Talking
All right.
to you.
Okay.
Don't be like Chris Harrington. Poor Chris.
Now, what we're gonna do is start formulating some meatballs. So here's where you can get your hands dirty if you want to.
I get to do this too?
Yeah, so we're gonna make the actual little, like, meatballs. We're gonna make a little spicy meatball. And we're just gonna roll it lightly in this flour. And then we're just gonna place them on here. So I can actually bring this over here. So we got a little bit of light olive oil in this pan. Size-wise, I'm thinking, let's see how these feel.
What's a good size meatball? Like palm sized, or?
I think this is pretty good.
Do I just roll it in there like that?
Yeah, just
I've
get
never
it
done this before.
lightly coated.
Yeah, guys, grocery games can go itself.
Guy, I've issued an open challenge to Guy to come on Shot of Brandi.
Oh.
Ain't heard from.
He knows who you are.
Well, because I know Robert Irvine and I know they friends. I also know Bobby Flay, so I know y'all talk.
Now I got a whole issue here. Now you want to talk about burying somebody? I got a real problem with Robert Irvin.
Oh.
You know why?
Because of the name.
Yes, that's my name. I held the claim to fame of being the most famous Irvin until this guy came along. And so I didn't like that chick. Remember that movie that came out a few years ago? My Fat Greek Wedding?
My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
And that was all the big thing that Nia Vardalos, the star, she wrote it, whatever. She was from Winnipeg. And she was like, Winnipeggers most famous. Like, bullshit. I'm way more famous than Nia Vardalos. Nia Vardalos and Robert Irvin and Chris Harrington are on the list for this episode of Shot of Brandi.
Growing. Okay, so let's talk about the inner circle.
Well, here's the thing with the inner circle. We talk about this quite often. It's one of those things where to have chemistry, it's like being in a band. You mentioned Fozzy earlier. The reason why Fozzy works and why we've done so well is we have chemistry as friends, as professionals.
Yeah.
Knowing what guys do good and what guys don't do as good, and you kind of accentuate the strengths and get rid of the weaknesses. So you never know, though, what's the chemistry going to be like. But the very first night, which was the first night of Dynamite in Washington, D.C., when Jake surprise debuted, I was just looking at the picture of the five of us and was like, this looks cool.
It's
you got a different
cool
mix
group.
of guys. Yeah. Everyone's got their own gimmick, but it just looks right.
Yeah.
And then it was like we started getting to know each other as friends and getting to know each other's strengths and weaknesses in the ring. And then it was no turning back. And now it's like coworkers to friends to like lifelong brothers. Like we have this connection now that no one can ever break because of the inner circle. Have you had Renee on this show?
I have not had Renee
Because she
on
has
yet.
an actual cookbook.
But I had her lovely husband on the show. I don't know if you think he's lovely, Mr. Moxley.
Yeah, well, we can throw him on my list. Robert Irvin, Nia Vardalos, Chris Harrington, and Moxley. Is Pharaoh done with his in-ring competition?
Yeah.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah.
And at Southern Honor Wrestling.
Yeah.
And Pastor Gary runs the place. Cody brought Pharaoh, because Cody and Pharaoh were advertised. And later in the night, me and Kenny made a surprise attack on each other, which was really cool. But Pharaoh came out to the ring, and Cody was cutting his very official, suit and tie, cutting his promo, but congratulations to Southern Honor. We're very excited to be a part of this. And Pharaoh was like, nah, I'm done. I just f***ed off. He just walked out.
He did it today during my promo. He did a promo with me. He came to the red carpet for Full Gear. So he is not a show guy, but he's a red carpet guy. That's his new title.
That makes sense, sure.
Yeah.
He's a good escort.
Yeah, but as soon as Tony Schiavone asked me a question, he left.
Wow.
I don't think he liked Tony's voice.
He didn't like Tony, period. Neither do I. He's on my list, too.
All right, what's the list?
Tony Schiavone, Robert Irvin, Nia Vardalos, Chris Harrington, and John Moxley. That's pretty good.
The list is growing. So I just put the meatballs on about medium heat. We're gonna let them cook. We're gonna flip them after a few minutes. I'm adding water and salt here, and then we're gonna start to boil the water and get ready to cook the actual spaghetti. What I'm doing now is I'm gonna take these out for a bit, and I'm gonna cook the sauce in the same pot, and then
for the juices.
Yeah, and then when we're ready, we'll just add the meatballs back in, which is why some of them, you can see a little bit of pinkness on them still. That's okay, because they're not done cooking. So they're just taking a chill for a moment. And then we're just gonna do a classic tomato sauce. We're just doing crushed tomatoes. I'm doing 2 cans.
Tins?
They're very large. Yeah. I've just got this going low to start like simmering this and get a little bit of a bubble going. We're still just barely about to boil.
That's a lot of water though.
Dancing with the stars.
I did season 11, I think it was, or season 12, which is so crazy because that was almost 10 years ago. When I started doing it, I realized like this is not too far off from what I do.
Yeah.
Because wrestling is all about choreography.
Right.
And being a musician is all about knowing how to stay on the beat, behind the beat, ahead of the beat. And the combination of those two, combined with the fact that I'm a live performer anyways,
Yeah.
I think put me in a completely different world, and they didn't expect that.
Wow.
What's the steam?
It's a lot of
Your
steam.
eyelashes are gonna come off.
That'd be hilarious. Okay, so there was way too much water in this, but I think we're, geez, Lord, I think we're good.
Brandi smokes
I'm
herself
just not
out.
here. I'm not here anymore.
All right, do we have to do the test though?
We got to do the test. If it's not al dente, we're gonna have to keep going.
I'm going with strand of spaghetti. I think
I
that's
think
like
that's
you said.
right.
Look at this, guys. I'm cooking. I'm really cooking.
All right.
So should I take one?
Yeah, it's pretty hot, so be careful. It's al dente! Hey! Yeah! We're ready. We're cooking, guys.
There you go.
We got it. All right. So we got our al dente, or al dente, whatever you call it, pasta.
Dente, I think.
Is it?
I think that means it's good for your teeth.
Monty ate the pasta, so it's good.
Well, this is a good
Seemed
one.
Like,
It's
seemed
sticking
like a good
together,
idea.
so you know it's good.
Okay.
Thanks.
And then we're gonna add some meatballs and sauce,
This is exciting.
which have been over here cooking as well. So we'll
Is
get
this
a
still
little
simmering?
sauce, still simmering.
Don't get those weird shaped ones that I made.
Okay.
The show will get canceled for sure.
And then we're gonna put a little bit more cheese on. Are you okay with me just
Yeah, of course.
going for it? So here's one for you.
Wow, that's good.
With
Look at
the-
this.
All right.
Excellent sauce.
Yeah?
Really good.
Let's see.
I'm not just saying that. It doesn't have as much garlic taste as I thought it was going to have.
And we put a good amount of
You
garlic in
did,
there.
but and that's not a bad thing. This is good, man. Seriously.
Try a little meatball.
Meatball's good too.
Here, I'm just gonna pick it up and bite it.
I'll tell you what, good job.
I like the Italian sausage mix.
Yeah.
Because not too,
Yeah.
it's not too overpowering where you're like, okay, you're really trying hard to be Italian here. I mean, basically the show is just showing everybody I'm a fat ass. Like a secret fat ass. Like,
Here's the thing though, you're not going to be a fat ass because I met your mom before, and she's has the same.
my mom don't even work out.
Yeah, she's just naturally
She just was
fit
lucky
looking
in her life.
thin. Good body. Good. Listen to me. So your mom's got a good body, eh?
Well, I was just about to say huge boobs, like
there you
real,
go.
real boobs.
But that's my thing. So you can always tell in a lot of times what a girl's genetics are by what her mom's genetics are.
Oh my God, my mom.
So
is
you're gonna have
be
to go out of
in
your
love
way
with
to
you
be a
after
fat
this.
ass.
She already loves you, so she's gonna be that much more in love with you after this. And she's gonna be like playing this for my dad, like, did you see what Chris Jericho said about me?
Brandi's mom got it going on. Have you had your mom on this show yet?
No, but that's coming.
What-
My mom can drink. Cody likes to tell a story that, after Dusty suddenly passed, all of us got together, family from everywhere. My parents came in, and this was the night after the memorial service.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all just trying to figure out how to do and what to do, And then it's like midnight, and everybody's trying to go to bed. My mom is outside on the back porch with Cody's sister's husband, who's like the most country from like the foothills of Texas, like very right-wing like guy.
Right.
They're passing a bottle of whiskey back and forth, just drinking out of it, just shooting the and I was just like, if that's not a picture of my mom, like that is, my mom loves everybody. and she loves alcohol. That's just her. All right, man. We don't have to eat all of this, but we do have to drink all of this. So let me know when you're ready.
All in one
Cheers.
shot?
All together.
It's a shot of
Bottoms
brandy,
up.
right?
A shot of brandy, yeah.
Baby. Bottoms up. Brandy's just killing me here.
I went to Michigan.
What was Dusty like to you?
Oh, it was amazing. Like, we had a special relationship. I met him before I met Cody. Most people don't know that, too.
Right. People
A lot of
forget.
people,
Yeah. I knew you before you
married
Nicole,
in. No.
Yeah, you were there
I had to
before.
slum it
Eden.
from the beginning. Yeah, Eden.
Eden.
And you know what? I always liked working with you because you always included me
Really?
in things. Yeah.
What
I
did I
remember
do?
one time I was not paying attention at ringside. You were having a match, and I was looking at my notes for whatever was coming up next. And you grabbed my chair and pushed me out, like by the ring, and put me between you and your opponent. And I was sitting there, like with my notes, like, oh, shit, what am I doing? But like, yeah, like me and like Chimmel and stuff, you would always like mess with us, which we love that because it just made us like feel like we're still part of the show.
You are part of
Yeah.
the show. It's a very important part of the show.
Right. Yeah, no, but Dusty was the man. He always called me his daughter. Not daughter-in-law, my daughter.
Yeah, no difference, right?
Yeah.
I never really had a lot of interactions with Dusty. I mean, I was very cool with him always, but he booked in WCW for a very short time when I was there, and then he stayed there when I was in WWE, and by the time he came to WWE as a trainer, I was already in, the main roster type things. My favorite Dusty story is when he inducted the Four Horsemen into the Hall of Fame. Me and Cody always laughed. He was like, John Lennon,
Oh, I remember.
Paul McCartney, George Ringo, those four. So anyways, later on that night, Ted DiBiase was getting inducted. And you know how those inductions are just out of control. Jerry the King Lawler comes out as the MC. Everyone stands up and claps, sit down. Then, Joe Smith comes up to introduce the next person. Everyone claps. Then the person who's inducting them comes, standing over. And I was like, listen, at this point, it was me and Dusty were sitting next to each other, sitting down, stand up, sitting down, standing up. And I was so like adamant. I think I was telling Cody, like, I'm done. And that's when I was like, I'm not doing it. And of course, Dusty stands up,
And then everybody
ultimate
else
class,
did.
and then I got, Dusty? What's wrong with it? Respect, baby. I'm like, you. I was just crotchety after. You actually had to stand up and sit down 50 times? Ooh, what a terrible time.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Chris, everybody, I did this for you. You better watch out of this episode and share and make sure all your friends watch it. Keep it locked to Shot of Brandy. We're coming back next week.
Orange Cassidy will be here soon for her mimosa shirt.